Hello everyone, it's Matt here, the Operations Manager at Fintelix.
How do you do? This is Will at Fintelix, the Solution Architect.
Yeah, so what we're going to talk about today is something that's very interesting. It's in the news lately is Facebook's Libra. So to start off, we're going to get a little bit into the backstory of behind the scenes of Libra a little bit.
We all know that the Winklevoss used to get into fight with Mark Zuckerberg, the founder of Facebook, over who actually started the company. So for those of you that don't know, before Mark became the CEO of Facebook, the Winklevoss twins actually came up with the idea of having face mesh, which is basically what inspired Mark Zuckerberg to start Facebook. Ever since that incident, they started a cryptocurrency exchange called Gemini. And I think this is kind of funny because Libra and Gemini are both zodiac signs, and in Greek mythology, Gemini is perceived as mysterious, mystic, sometimes even deceptive, whereas Libra is perceived as, fair, transparent.
Gemini is seen in can be perceived in a negative way, but Libra is usually seen as in a positive light.
Yeah, slightly more positive, one slightly more negative. So this could mean that Mark is trying to tell the twins again, I will up your game, and trying to get back at the twins. I don't know, it's just background story.
If
kind
so,
of like
that's
drama in the tech industry.
So about Libra, just from what I've heard, I haven't heard everything, but I've heard there's a lot of controversy about it, and I'm talking from the compliance side. There's a lot of people wondering how it's gonna work, what issues might be in the way.
Yeah, I mean that issue exists generally in all of the financial industry for different regulators. It's hard, especially on cryptocurrency, because it's such a new topic, and when different jurisdictions across the globe don't really have a deep understanding of what cryptocurrency is all about and don't know what are the best ways to regulate it, they usually tend to just ban it, stop it altogether, right? So Libra is a big initiative. It's funded and backed by one of the biggest companies in the world, so it definitely has that level of impact when it comes down to compliance side of things. From now, at this point, I still think it's too early to draw any conclusions, but we'll see. Like, on one hand, you have this big business entity that wants to push this forward. On the other hand, you have the traditional regulators that try to understand and try to stop it from, being widely adopted across the globe because of anti-money laundering, because of cross-border payment. All these regulation infrastructure they already have in place. So this is going to be interesting to see how the story unfolds.
Yeah, because I feel like this is a great opportunity too. This is exactly what I feel the opportunity that cryptocurrency needs to really get a push to the general public. Whether it's Libra or not, having a company like this really back that idea,
right,
I think is a very big thing for cryptocurrency.
Definitely, that's for sure.
Now, what are some of the financial aspects with Libra as well?
You know what? I think that's the elegant part of what Libra is all about. At least the part of why I think it's very, very well designed. Is it doesn't really it claims to be a stable coin, but it doesn't really associate itself with any currency across the globe, unless USDT, which is tightly connected to US dollars. Libra is actually a pool of stable securities, stable asset. It includes government notes, bank notes. Yeah. So it really allows the currency to hedge against the cryptocurrency to hedge against fiat currency fluctuations. So I think it's arguably even more stable than USDT because you can fluctuate with the US currency, whereas Libra has all these quantitative models and they have their own way to quantify what's the volatility like and how do we make sure the value doesn't depreciate. So I think that's really cool, and it's you don't expect anything less from a tech giant like Facebook.
Yeah, it is. It is very interesting how they work that out. And also, speaking of Facebook being a tech giant, let's talk about some of the technology behind it as well. Because from what I hear, they're a bit more than a standard blockchain. From what I hear, they're a bit more centralized than a blockchain normally is.
It uses Byzantine fault tolerance. So what Byzantine fault tolerance is a consensus algorithm that allows the system to be able to tell when one malicious party is trying to tamper with the rules of the overall system. And that's what Libra is using. But the difference is, it's more like a consortium system in a sense that it has different large body institutions like Coinbase, like Uber, and they sort of formed a consortium and alliance together to facilitate this transaction that happened within the ecosystem. It's kind of like in between a fully decentralized system such as Ethereum, where there is no central party at all. Everyone can join as a node, and something that is completely centralized. It's kind of a in-between phase, much like the IBM's technology Hyperledger Fabric.
And like you said too, it's a consortium, so it's a bunch of, Libra isn't purely owned by Facebook from what I gathered. It's a group, like it's an organization created by Libra.
By Libra Foundation, yes.
Yeah. So that way Facebook isn't in control of everything. Some people are worried about that as well.
Right. So, and also from not just tech, but like fintech aspect of it, like financial technology aspect of it, it's really allowing the financial infrastructure to be established. And I feel like that's what a lot of the tech company is moving towards. They're really trying to eat the financial industry's lunch. What I mean by that is, like, a lot of the companies, like Apple is providing Apple Pay, right? They're issuing their credit card after their partnership with Goldman Sachs. And also, like Google is having a Google Pay service. I mean, Facebook it's no surprise that Facebook is having their own payment solution with a little twist on adopting blockchain as a solution. So this is where the tech company is moving towards. China is very big on that. I think in American innovation side, they're kind of learning like what Alibaba is trying to do, what Tencent WeChat Pay is trying to do. In China, like if you go to China, you don't need a credit card. You just need to bring your phone, right? You scan the QR code and you get payment. So it's very, very advanced. So I think, and that's what a lot of North American companies are moving towards. They're trying to bring these financial related use case on top of their technology. If you think about it, there's a saying that data is the new oil, right? They have all these consumer data they can monetize off and develop financial use case. I just find it really interesting how Facebook is taking a step towards that direction.
Another thing I find interesting about all this too is the whole concept behind blockchain was basically like started from the foundation of like anarchy and anarchists to come up with ways to take power away from the government.
Right.
And big organizations, and now big organizations like Facebook are starting to really utilize this. When you get into those subjects, like there tends to be a lot of philosophy behind the ideas to do with these things. And I'm sure now that big organizations are incorporating this, I'm sure there's a lot of changes in the philosophy behind
that battle of ideal.
Yeah.
I think there are two sides to this. On one side, there is the side where like it's impossible to push something that's so disruptive to the industry, to our traditional industry. So I think Facebook is doing a great thing in that aspect of it. But there's also the other aspect, which is the the negative side of it, where it's also can be perceived as Facebook just trying to come up with a way to use blockchain as a gimmick to really push out another one of their product, right? To really attach the financial infrastructure use case to their existing infrastructure, which is a massive amount of consumer data, right? If you think about it, Facebook is the amount of data they have over us is massive, right? So it's a way for them to monetize their existing data. So there's like I said, much like Libra has two sides, what Facebook is trying to do also has two sides of the story. Yeah. So what do you guys think? That's pretty much it. What do you guys think?
Yeah. Feel free to leave what you guys think in the comments.
Yeah, let's hear about your opinion.
Yeah, we want to hear your opinion, feedback, hopes, dreams, fears.
Yeah.
And one lucky commenter will actually win one of our Intellics t-shirts.
or maybe a mug if you prefer. And peace out.